Hey everyone. This is a redo. For some reason, whenever I sketched Chewbacca just the other day, it didn't take when I recorded, so I am going to redo the sketch. I painted over the canvas again, so here we go. Find a good pencil. Let's use that one. Just get a mechanical pencil with an eraser. I'm going to try to sketch pretty quick with this, so that way it won't take that much of your time. Anyway, so we're just going to, I'm going to do a longer version instead of horizontal like I did before. It is recording. Okay. I did a painting of Chewbacca, and it was more like this. And there's a lot of grooves on this from just painting really quick and stuff. That's fine. It's going to, when I paint over it, it's going to be hidden. So this time I'm going to go vertical. It's the same picture, only you can see more of his body. So here we go. And I'm just using this as a number 4B pencil. I have some other mechanical pencils and I can't find them right now. So they have a thicker lead, they won't break. This version of him won't be so big. You know, when I drew him, he was quite huge, which technically Chewbacca is a big guy, so we're just going to draw roughly what his fur looks like. Okay, see how his fur is kind of sweeping down? Just keep going with it. Well, you kind of have an outline of what his fur looks like. The pattern of his fur, it's all going to be covered up anyway with paint. Okay, and then we're going to take this, shape it, and we're going to go this way. And then his arm is going to be more like this. Draw a line. I'm just doing this really quick. All the detail and everything can be added later. So oh, okay. Anyway, so let's get him a shoulder here. And then we'll do the planes of the face. I don't get all, you know, proper and use a ruler or anything. Anyway, all that will be touched up and done with, you know, with painting. So, okay, so we'll use this kind of seeing where the pattern of his fur is the darker part. So we'll go ahead and do this right here. We'll go ahead and make some markings where the darker parts are. Then we'll go ahead and we'll bring this tuft of fur that's kind of blown up, bring this right here. We'll curl it up like that. Bring it around this way. Just like you see it in the photo, it's not going to look exactly like him. Sorry about the road noise. There's some motorcyclists that are really loud around here and it's annoying. Anyway, for someone like me, it's kind of hard to focus. Alright, so we're going to draw part of his nose right here. I don't understand why motorcycles have to be so loud, but that's just me. So I'm curious. I mean, this is the second time that I'm trying to draw Chewbacca. So I was thinking of maybe, if this goes over well, you know, the painting and everything, maybe doing one of C-3PO, because when I was a kid, C-3PO was another one of my favorites, and so was R2-D2. I even liked the Stormtroopers. I just thought they were all really cool looking. Who is your favorite character out of Star Wars? Or characters out of Star Wars? Okay, Chewbacca, his eyes are a little bit close together. I mean, he's like an overgrown puppy. You know, he really is. He's just an overgrown puppy that walks like a person. At least he, in my eyes, he does. Okay. His smile, like right here, his mouth, the corners of his mouth are going to come out to the outer parts of his eyes. About right there. Kind of like he's smiling. Because Chewbacca usually is a happy guy. And if you know anything about Chewbacca, you know that he takes up for who he loves. Chewbacca's a good guy. Okay, so now it looks like right here, like he has a little bit of eyebrows. So we'll go ahead and we'll kind of outline that a little bit. And then we'll zoom in on his eyes. And we'll just kind of draw shapes. Now, shading on his eyes. If you look right here, it's going to be really dark right here on the inside of the corners of his eyes. So kind of specify when you're drawing him, or with anything, you know, specify how they're dark around the corners of the eyes, or maybe even underneath. I always tend to draw one eye a little bit larger than the other, so anyway, just do it like that. So let's get some of the pattern of his fur, if that's what you call it. Okay, and then we'll draw this part, draw this a little bit lighter. That way you have a guideline. And then down here, a little bit darker. I don't want to make this video too long. But yeah, I thought trying to paint C-3PO would look kind of cool. So what do you think about that? Okay, his mouth is a bit like that. His bottom lip. Let's recorrect his upper part. Leave room for his teeth. He's got 1 tooth right there. 1 tooth right there. And over here, he's got some twofers right there. So now we can specify or darken some of the fur right here, just quick like, and right here. Bring that fur down a little bit right here. And he has a little bit of dividing pattern. Bring this down. And then this right here, all you do is just kind of move it. If you sketch, you know what I'm talking about. It's relatively simple. He's really not that difficult to draw. A little bit more darkness, shading, whatever. Kind of like drawing the wolf man. Okay. A little bit of darkness right in there. Shade that in. And then build the outside of his fur. Come down a little bit right here. Okay, and you can see his shoulder. So bring this over here. He will look different once I start putting paint on him. And just like this through here, just start adding the pattern of his fur. Because he's got the wind blown look, because the wind's blowing behind him, as you can see. And to the side. Ideas for videos, I just don't know. I'm not very confident about going live. And then just add some definition to these. All this can be, I'm just doing this real quick, all this can be touched up with paint, if not recorrected. It's just a lot of, you know, detail. When I first drew him, I drew him exactly like this. I went real quick with it. I kept saying, start out quick, work on it later. You know, work on detail correction, stuff later. Okay. And then his arm. And also, if you use, you know, if you sketch first, and you go over with paint, sorry, my sinuses are acting up. If you go back over it with paint, the pencil lead is going to blend in with your paint, and therefore, you know, you have more depth in some places and stuff. So anyway, just a little reminder there. tuft of fur that goes up this way. Bring this, I'm going to curve this out a little bit. See how I'm doing that? Kind of gives the, you know, the fur pattern, growth pattern, hair growth, whatever. There you have it. Next video will be showing how to blend. Have a good one. Thanks for watching.